In a small village nestled between rolling hills, there stood a massive oak tree known as the Forgiveness Tree. It was ancient, its sprawling branches reaching high into the sky, offering shade to anyone who sought refuge beneath its boughs. The villagers believed it possessed a unique magic. Anyone who sat under the tree with an open heart could find the strength to forgive. But one man, Arin, scoffed at the tree's legend. A blacksmith by trade, he was known for his short temper and unwillingness to forgive. Years ago, his childhood best friend, Darren, had betrayed him. Darren had falsely accused Arin of stealing coins from a traveling merchant. Though the accusation was later proven false, the damage to Arin's reputation lingered, and their friendship was shattered. Despite the passage of years, Arin couldn't let go of the grudge. He avoided Darren in the village, and the bitterness weighed on him like a heavy chain. One day, an elderly woman named Elda visited Arin's smithy. She needed a new horseshoe, but she noticed the furrowed lines on Arin's face and the anger in his eyes. "You're carrying something heavy, aren't you?" she asked gently. Arin grunted, hammering away at the metal. "What do you know of it, old woman?" "I know that bitterness is a poison you drink, hoping it will hurt someone else," she replied. "Have you ever visited the Forgiveness Tree?" Arin rolled his eyes. "That's a story for fools. Forgiving Darren won't change what he did." Elda smiled knowingly. "Maybe not, but forgiveness isn't for him. It's for you." Her words stuck with Arin, and that evening, as the sun dipped low and bathed the village in golden light, he found himself walking to the tree. Its towering presence was both humbling and inviting. He hesitated, feeling foolish, but finally sat beneath its wide canopy. The air was still, save for the rustling leaves. Arin closed his eyes and thought about the day of the betrayal. He replayed the events, the anger surging fresh as if it had happened yesterday. But as he sat there, he noticed something else: how much he had lost because of his grudge. His laughter, his peace, his friendship with Darren. A tear slid down his cheek. "I don't know if I can forgive him," Arin whispered to the tree. A gentle breeze stirred, and it felt as though the tree were listening. A memory surfaced, of him and Darren as boys, laughing and climbing this very tree, daring each other to reach the highest branch. In his heart, he felt a pang of longing for the friendship they'd shared. Arin sat under the tree until the stars came out. As he stood to leave, he felt lighter, as though the tree had taken a small piece of his burden. The next morning, Arin saw Darren by the river, helping a villager with a broken wagon. Arin's heart pounded. He walked over, each step heavy. When Darren saw him, his face turned pale. "Arin, But before Darren could speak, Arin held up a hand. "I don't need you to explain," he said, his voice steady. "What you did hurt me, but I've carried that hurt long enough. I forgive you." Darren's eyes filled with tears. "I don't deserve it," he said, "but thank you. I'm so sorry for what I did." From that day forward, the two men began to rebuild their friendship, brick by careful brick. Arin learned that forgiveness didn't mean forgetting or excusing. It meant freeing himself from the chains of resentment. Years later, when Arin's children climbed the forgiveness tree, he smiled, knowing the real magic wasn't in the tree itself, but in the courage to let go and move forward. And so, the forgiveness tree stood as a reminder to all who passed by. Forgiveness isn't for the one who wronged you. It's the key that unlocks your own freedom.